Every single morning at 4:30 a.m., while most of New York City was still asleep, Robert unlocked the doors of a towering 32-story office building in the heart of Manhattan. He swept the endless marble floors. He emptied overflowing trash bins. He cleaned desks belonging to executives who earned in a day what he made in a month. People rushed past him every day, some without even a glance. Others whispered behind his back. A few openly laughed at the man in the worn-out uniform who dared to dream bigger than his paycheck. But what nobody knew was that one day, Robert would own that very building. And when the truth finally came out, the same people who looked down on him stood in complete silence, stunned. Stay with me, because this true-spirited story might just change how you see your own struggles. Welcome to Whispers of Life by Nagorom, where ordinary lives teach us the most extraordinary lessons. Today's story is about patience, unbreakable discipline, and the quiet power of believing in yourself when the whole world doubts you. This is Robert's journey from invisible custodian to building owner. Robert was a hard-working custodian in New York City. For 10 long years, he cleaned the same building day in and day out. His shift started before sunrise and often ended long after dark. He pushed heavy cleaning carts through empty hallways, scrubbed toilets, polished elevators, and wiped windows that overlooked the glittering city he was determined to conquer. His back ached constantly. His hands were rough and calloused. Many nights he went home with barely enough energy to eat before collapsing into bed. Every day he watched successful business owners stride through the lobby in tailored suits, carrying briefcases full of dreams and opportunities. Luxury cars lined up outside. Executives laughed loudly while closing million-dollar deals in the conference rooms he had just cleaned. And every evening, Robert returned to his tiny, dimly lit one-bedroom apartment in a rough part of Queens. The paint was peeling. The heater barely worked in winter. He ate simple meals, rice, beans, and whatever was cheapest at the market. Most people who knew him assumed he would die as a custodian. That's just life, they said. But Robert had a secret that kept him going. Every single paycheck, no matter how small, he saved a portion. Sometimes it was only $50. Sometimes just $20. But he saved it religiously. He lived below his means, skipping movies, new clothes, vacations, and nights out with friends. He sacrificed birthdays. He sacrificed holidays. He sacrificed comfort for a future only he could see. His friends constantly mocked him. "Robert, come on man, enjoy your money. Life is short. Why are you living like a monk?" They invited him to parties, to bars, to weekend trips. When he refused, they called him cheap, boring, and delusional. But Robert stayed focused. At night, after exhausting 12-hour shifts, he sat under a small lamp and read business books from the library. He studied real estate investing. He learned how money compounds. He studied the habits of self-made millionaires. He took free online courses on his old laptop. Slowly, very slowly his savings grew. He invested wisely in low-cost index funds and a few carefully chosen properties. Then the struggles became even harder. A serious recession hit the city. Markets crashed. His modest investments lost nearly 40% of their value. He watched years of sacrifice shrink on paper. At the same time, his mother fell ill, and unexpected medical bills drained his emergency fund. The building management cut his hours, making it even harder to save. There were months he ate the same cheap meal every day just to keep saving. There were nights he cried in his small apartment, questioning if it was all worth it. Doubt whispered loudly, "Maybe they're right. Maybe you'll never be more than a custodian." More than once, Robert stood at the edge of giving up. But every time darkness closed in, he repeated his mantra out loud. Small steps taken consistently create big results. He refused to quit. He tightened his belt even more. He worked extra side jobs on weekends. He kept learning. He kept believing. The road was long, painful, and lonely, but Robert kept walking. Years later, the wealthy owner of the building, a man in his late 70s, was diagnosed with a serious illness. His health declined rapidly, and doctors advised him to slow down completely. Unable to manage the stress of running multiple properties anymore, he made the difficult decision to sell the entire building. The property was quietly placed on the market. Most employees and even many local investors paid little attention. But Robert had been watching and preparing for over a decade. He understood that opportunity often arrives disguised as hardship. With his years of disciplined savings, carefully grown investments, and strong partnerships he had quietly built with a few trusted mentors, Robert made an offer. It was bold. It was risky. Many people laughed when they heard rumors that the custodian was trying to buy the building. But after months of negotiations, inspections, and tense financial meetings, the deal was done. The man who once cleaned every floor of that building had become one of its new owners. The following Monday, employees arrived as usual. They saw Robert standing in the grand lobby wearing his familiar work clothes. Many smirked, assuming he was there for another cleaning shift. Then the official announcement came over the speakers. The building has new ownership, and one of the new co-owners is Robert Thompson. The same Robert they had ignored and underestimated for years. The same man they had laughed at. The same man who never stopped believing. The entire lobby fell deathly silent. Some mouths dropped open. Others stood frozen in disbelief. The critics who once mocked him now looked at him with shock and quiet respect. Success rarely happens overnight. What the world calls an overnight success is almost always years of unseen struggle, sacrifice, and relentless consistency. Robert's greatest advantage wasn't luck, connections, or even money. It was his unbreakable consistency through the darkest seasons. Maybe you're in a season right now where nobody sees your effort. Maybe you're working hard with very little reward. Maybe people have already written off your future. Don't let their opinions become your reality. A seed looks tiny and worthless before it grows into a mighty tree. A foundation is invisible before a skyscraper rises into the sky. And your dream may look impossible today, but keep going. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep moving forward, one small step at a time. One day, the very people who doubted you might be inspired by your story. If this story touched you, subscribe to Whispers of Life by Nagorom for more powerful motivational stories that build courage, hope, and resilience. Like this video and share it with someone who needs encouragement right now. And remember this powerful truth. Never let your current job determine the size of your future. Until next time, keep listening to the Whispers of Life. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.